see as to what it says. So this is also a roadmap to DevOps. So the first step that it says is that when you're starting up your DevOps career, let's say if you're starting from scratch, first thing is you need to learn a programming language. So which is something like Python or Ruby or Rust, Go, JavaScript, Node.js. So any sort of programming language. So this is important because when you're doing the scripting and automation, you have a very, very good idea about how these algorithms work, how to write in these structures, how to write in the scripts. So learning a programming language definitely helps. So the next is learning any sort of operating system. So operating system means Linux in particular. So Linux can be in any flavor. It can be Ubuntu, Debian, or Red Hat Linux, or any sort of Linux systems. You also need to be very, very familiar with the terminals. So learning about how to do the process monitoring, performance monitoring, what are the different networking tools, how to do any text or random manipulations in Linux. Similarly, using like sed, awk, or any sort of text manipulations. In terms of your terminals, you will be also learning Bash scripting, PowerShell, also be aware of the VI and all these nano editors. The next path is you need to understand about the version control systems, where you'll be doing all the application source code controls with VCS hosting, which is your version control system hostings like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. So this will cover about your source control. And then you need to learn about what is and how to set up. So this is about how to set up a caching server, a load balancer, how to set up firewalls, what are the roles of reverse proxy and forward proxy. So this is from the networking point of view. It's also very important for a DevOps engineer to understand. The next set is containers. So everybody must be knowing about Docker. At least you've heard of it. Not many people know about LXC, but this is also a container technology. But Docker is the more prominent one. So you need to understand Docker and get very, very familiarized with it. And then regarding the cloud providers, you need to get into either of the cloud providers, which is AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. DigitalOcean is another cloud as well. Or you can go into any other cloud providers as well. But if you understand about just, let's say, AWS, that is good enough. Because if you have an understanding of AWS, you'll find it very easy to switch over to Google Cloud and Azure as well. The next path is networking, security, and protocols. So understanding HTTP, SSL, TLS, SSH, HTTPS, DNS. So this will come up inherently while you're doing networking. So networking is a very important concept when you're understanding DevOps, because that is how all your applications, they connect to each other. You maintain the security through networking. So networking becomes a very, very essential part of it. Then you need to have an understanding about the serverless functions. So serverless is, you don't need to install the servers, but you will be able to run up your functions in a serverless way. There are servers procured by AWS or Azure at the backend, but you don't need to procure the servers. You just need to run your functions. So you should know about the serverless technologies, which is Netlify, GCP functions, AWS Lambda, Cloudflare, or any of these Azure functions. Next is infrastructure provisioning. So this is where you learn how to procure your automated infrastructure. So you can use CloudFormation, you can use Terraform, Pulumi, AWS CDK. So all these are the tech stack to procure automated infrastructure. Configuration management is important because that helps in the automated provisioning of your infrastructure. As well as automated provisioning of the different configurations on your server. So in this, you need to understand about any of these, especially Ansible is more popular among all these three. Whereas in infrastructure provisioning, it's the Terraform, which is more popular. Then in the career path is learning some CICD tools. So there are multiple CICD tools available. So working on Jenkins is pretty easy, but now you also have GitHub Actions, which is coming up, Circle CI. Learning any of these, just one of the tool is good enough, but you need to have a super understanding of any CI/CD tool. The concept of secrets management is important because that is where you should be storing your secrets. You don't leave your secret just in plain text. So there are different vaults which are available. You've got key management systems in AWS and in Google Cloud. So you need to learn about the secret management. Next is infrastructure monitoring. So monitoring is very essential. If you're using any sort of application or infrastructure, it needs to be monitored for the health checks. So you've got Prometheus, Grafana, Datadog, Zabbix. There are a few more which it has not mentioned. So there is AppDynamics, there's Dynatrace. But any sort of infrastructure monitoring as well. So I think there should also be AWS CloudWatch or Google Cloud Monitoring, all these different tools. The next in the roadmap is application monitoring. So, which is your OpenTelemetry, Datadog, New Relic, all these App Dynamics. You got Dynatrace here as well. So it can monitor all the different applications and the health of the applications. The next in stack is logs management. So you need to have an understanding about Splunk, which is very important. So even if you don't know Splunk in detail, but just understand that it does log management. It analyzes all the logs. You've got Elastic Stack, you've got Gray Logs, Papertrail. There are different sort of log management tools. For container orchestration, Kubernetes is the most important. So if you just know about Kubernetes, that would get you a lot of information. You also have GKE, EKS, and AKS, which is automated container provisioning and the container orchestration tools within these individual cloud providers. But Kubernetes is the backend which is used in all of them. Artifact management, you need to have an understanding of what is an artifact and why it should be managed. What is the role-based access, Artifactory, Nexus. These are the two prominently used artifact management tools. Next is the understanding about GitOps, which is Argo CD or Flux CD. And then we are almost about to complete. So the concept of service mesh, where you have Istio. So the service mesh would help in the networking of the internal applications. So whether you're in a GKE cluster or you're in, so service mesh is what allows safe and secure connections between the applications as well as the ingress and egress to the different paths. Last but not the least is your cloud design patterns, so which will ensure the availability, data management, designing and implementation, management and monitoring. So how you should be architecting an application, how an application should be designed from the cloud point of view. So this is a basic framework of a DevOps roadmap. So this is how the career roadmap should proceed. So as I said earlier, in the mentoring program, we cover all these different concepts, all these different tool stacks. So we cover all of them that I just spoke about. And also we also focus on the different soft skills, resume building, also the mock interviews. So I hope you like this video, guys. This is a very, very important video in relation to how a DevOps career should be and what roadmap it should follow. So if you like this video, please put in a comment, ask your questions, put in a like, thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel so we know how many people would want to watch these type of videos in future. And that is really helpful for us. If you want to connect to us, there is a WhatsApp group which is defined in the description. You can connect using that WhatsApp group. Using that WhatsApp group, you will get our personal WhatsApp numbers, which you can then connect to. So have a nice day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.